Next on Worcester News Tonight, a local high school student surprises a classmate with a promposal at UMass Memorial. We'll have his story. Plus, addressing the issue of panhandling on city streets, a look at what one central Massachusetts city is doing. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Catherine Rioli. We begin with a touching story out of UMass Memorial Medical Center, where a patient surprised his classmate with a promposal made possible by the staff in the hospital's pediatric unit.
So I just wanted to ask you, would you go to prom with me? Thank you.
It was a promposal unlike any other. 17-year-old Jonathan Tomaszewski surprised classmate Justina Dimitri on Friday. He asked her to prom with the help of the nurses and staff at UMass Memorial.
On my sign it says, I'm all into asking you to prom, and my leukemia being ALL, it's like just saying like, are you all in to coming to prom with me?
Jonathan was diagnosed with acute lymphocytic leukemia in December. He asked Justina to be his date to the prom after he says she's shown him constant support since his diagnosis.
He was the one that kind of coordinated getting these custom Nike shoes for me.
These are the sneakers customized for Jonathan. His classmates pitched in and bought them after his prom date came up with the idea.
He had kind of a similar pair in all white, and I was always like shocked about how he kept them so clean. So I was like, oh, maybe I should just get him another pair and add orange to it, because that was the color of leukemia.
To see him happy and looking forward to something and to be able to laugh and have fun means the world to him and makes us on top of the world.
Jonathan will continue treatments and his health has progressed. He's thrilled to be going to prom with Justina in just 3 weeks.
That's going to be the week that I'm off of treatment, so it's something to look forward to for not only me, but for her too. And I think she's really happy I'm going to be out of the hospital.
And Jonathan's prom date tells Worcester News Tonight she will be wearing a black dress with orange accessories in support of ALL. The two are looking forward to prom on May 26th. Turning now to the Worcester Police Department, honoring the memory of 15 officers during a memorial ceremony this weekend. The ceremony honors retired members of the Worcester Police Department who passed away in 2015 and 2016. It's been a tradition carried on since the late 1800s. It will be this Sunday, May 7th at 9 a.m. The event will include a presentation of the colors and introductory remarks by Worcester Police Chief Stephen Sargent and City Manager Ed Augustus. The memorial goes along with National Police Week in Washington, D.C. Worcester has been working for years on a solution to panhandling on city streets. Surrounding communities like Leominster have a campaign to encourage people to donate to social service agencies instead of giving money to panhandlers. Leominster's mayor says the program is not just to move panhandlers along, but to help them with support that they need. And it's a strategy that Worcester has tried, but now it's looking for other options. Olivia Lemon has the story.
So we provide a variety of things, but it really is about helping people where they're at and what their need is at any given time.
Ginny's Helping Hand is one of the many organizations helping the homeless and people in Leominster. It's one place the city recommends donating to instead of giving money to panhandlers on the street.
If they donate to organizations like ours, we target where the money is going. We know very specifically where the money is going and the impact that it's having.
Susan Shalafou is the executive director at Ginny's. She says since the launch of a citywide campaign to help eliminate panhandling, she has noticed fewer panhandlers on the street.
When people donate to a panhandler on the street, they don't really know where that money's going. They are contributing to perhaps like a chronic, situation.
Shalafou is also a Leominster city councilor and says the campaign, which includes street signs, is working.
We would get complaints, from people who felt harassed, I guess in a way. But I haven't had any complaints, and I honestly haven't seen people on the corners myself.
In Worcester, Commissioner of Health and Human Services Dr. Maddie Castile says the city's main focus is to help people on the streets get into housing and a job.
We're not saying that the shelter is what we want to do. Our goal is to get everybody who's in the shelters housed, anybody who's on the streets housed.
In recent years, a federal judge deemed Worcester's ordinances to ban aggressive panhandling as unconstitutional. It cost the city about $500,000 in legal fees. Worcester tried a campaign similar to Leominster's before, and right now appear to be deciding on what's the next best step.
We're in the midst of talking about what our next plans are, but I think our overall goal is to get people housed and to see what are the issues with people and how do we help them with that issue.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
And on Monday, May 8th, the city of Worcester will host a discussion on homelessness in the community. That event is from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at City Hall. And firefighters in Templeton are trying to figure out what caused a fire that destroyed a house overnight. Fortunately, no one was home at the time, but as you can see from this picture taken by the Telegram, the house is a total loss. Firefighters from Barry and Hubbardston helped knock it down. The woman charged in a hit-and-run crash killing a 4-year-old boy in Milford is free on bail. Prosecutors laid out their case today against Melissa Knight, accusing her of taking plenty of steps to cover up her alleged actions. Desiree Wiley reports from Milford.
It was just a child in the middle of the road with gruesome open head wounds being cradled by his distraught and devastated father.
During Melissa Knight's arraignment with the young victim's family in the courtroom holding hands, the prosecution took the judge back to Easter Sunday when 4-year-old Jonathan Loha was left for dead in the middle of the road after being hit by a car.
That investigation proceeded to identify 4 possible motor vehicles that could have been involved.
Police say the vehicle responsible is this one. The driver of this Chevrolet Traverse allegedly was Knight of Milford, who witnesses say stopped briefly after hitting Loha.
She'd been a criminal for 3 days.
These court documents reveal that Knight went to police headquarters to say she was driving on Water Street that day but never hit anything. Instead, she said the dent in her truck was from a tree, a lie the prosecution says she even told her sister and daughter, who you see here in the courtroom.
She has done everything in her power to evade arrest.
She's been cooperating all the way through. There's been no evading anything here.
In an effort to reduce the $25,000 bail requested, Knight's attorney said his client isn't a flight risk.
Her children need her. She needs to work.
Knight is now free after posting $20,000 cash bail. In Milford, Desiree Wiley, Worcester News Tonight.
In the next month, Worcester's high school seniors will be graduating, and the public schools say there are plenty of achievements to celebrate. They include a group of 4 students accepted to Harvard University. Each has their own success story. Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Burncoat senior Rodney Ajari May will attend Harvard on a full scholarship in the fall. He's one of 4 Worcester Public School students accepted to the Ivy League University.
It's cool to see other people doing well in Worcester.
Ajari May is ranked #1 in the country in the 600-meter dash. He admits he's come a long way.
I didn't start out really fast. I started out as I believe I didn't even make states my 8th grade, or in freshman year I barely made states. But just through hard work and consistency, I eventually rose up in the ranks.
These 3 friends from South High School grew up together through Goddard Scholars Academy. 2 are going to Harvard.
We all support each other. We all want to do well.
But the 3rd, Travis Tran, ranked #2 in his class, will attend Yale University. He says he is proud of himself, but he doesn't think too much about rankings.
There are these internal pushes, drives that push me to do my best. And whatever's my best, it turns out these results.
Valedictorian Denny Hoxha was born in Albania and came to Worcester in 2010. He says he had to learn English and was motivated by his parents' sacrifices in moving to the U.S.
When I got the acceptance, we could not believe it. My mom was in tears, the American dream.
Kevin Aduse was born in the U.S., moved to Ghana, and came back to Worcester when he was 7. He says his success stems from maintaining a balance.
Learning how to do all of these different things, yet still get your work done on time, still be able to, if you're volunteering, being able to do that with as much energy and passion as you can.
All 4 say they are excited about their future, and their message to younger students is hard work and dedication leads to success.
Kid who's 15, 16, they're going home, there's violence, there's things in their house that sort of discourages them. But then they hear kids grew up with people in those situations, and they got to this level.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Honors today for some of the state's most successful students. Governor Charlie Baker was on hand to celebrate this year's 29 Who Shine honorees at the State House. The awards are presented to students from each of the Commonwealth's 29 public campuses for their outstanding work. Among this year's winners, 12 are graduating with degrees in healthcare. 11 are adult students, 2 are combat veterans, and 6% are immigrants to the United States. Today is Cinco de Mayo, a day which originates in Mexico but is celebrated in the United States over the past few years. Arkan Jandro looks at the history while also showing the impact of Cinco de Mayo on local businesses.
At El Patron in the Canal District, there was a line out the door at lunchtime. The restaurant expects to be busy all night for the celebration of Cinco de Mayo, a holiday most probably don't know the true meaning of.
And it's your typical David and Goliath story. The army of Zaragoza defeated the French. And that was a historical moment because Mexico is, throughout its history, has had this sort of like heavy burden of being invaded.
2,000 Mexicans defeated a French army 3 times their size in the Battle of Puebla on May 5, 1862. Esteban Lustino is an associate professor of Spanish at Assumption College. He is from Mexico and says although while the victory was small, it's a source of national pride.
The importance here is that there are many stories, silent, small stories that still need to be told. Right? So it takes on multiple interpretations. You can narrow it down to this sense of community, and pride.
Restaurants across the area are celebrating what Lustino says is more of a commercialized American holiday. Soul of Mexico in Worcester offers an authentic Mexican experience, and Cinco de Mayo is great for business. Owner Emma Acevedo says the day means a lot to her in many ways.
Every Cinco de Mayo we get busy and busy. People know us more and more, which I appreciate the business of these people. And I really enjoy doing food, and I really enjoy cooking for you guys.
Now, something most people don't know about Cinco de Mayo is the fact that the Mexicans did eventually end up losing the war to the French, but Mexicans here in the city say winning the Battle of Puebla is something the Mexican people will never forget. In Worcester, I'm Cam Jandro,